Do you wake up like a king or like someone dragged out of a dream? When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to love. Marcus Aurelius. I used to wake up feeling like I was being pulled from deep water. Every morning felt like a quiet struggle between a heavy body and the indifferent sound of an alarm clock. I wasn't lazy, but I always felt out of breath. Not because I lacked goals, but because I had no real way to start the day. Every morning was a loop. Wake up and check my phone, sip coffee in a daze, and get swept into the rush of life. Everything began in reaction, not intention. I wasn't leading my day, it was dragging me along like a piece of debris in a river. I tried all the modern productivity hacks, this app, that checklist. But no matter how many tasks I checked off, my mind still felt like a cluttered room. I didn't know what I was living for. Then I came across the words of Marcus Aurelius. He, a Roman emperor living amidst war, betrayal, and the burden of ruling an empire, began each day with inner stillness, reminding himself that a new day is a privilege. And I asked myself, if he could start his day like that, under such crushing weight, what's my excuse? That question started my journey to rebuild my mornings, not with a new sleep cycle, but a new philosophy. I stopped searching the internet for shiny new tricks. Instead, I returned to the timeless, grounded wisdom of Stoicism. No hype, no slogans, just depth and consistency. And here's what I've realized: mornings aren't for getting a lot done. They're for becoming the kind of person you want to be. From drinking a glass of water to writing a few lines in a journal, from keeping my phone away to walking 10 minutes in the park, these simple acts became mental levers. They pulled me out of autopilot and brought me back to myself. No, I'm not perfect. There are still days I sleep in, days I feel stuck. But here's the difference. I know I'm on my way back. I'm no longer drifting unconsciously. I didn't make this video to convince you to do 15 things every morning like a robot. I made it to offer a lifestyle, a way to begin your day with clarity, intention, and depth. In true Stoic fashion, not by controlling everything, but yourself. So, if you're tired of waking up to a battle every morning, try changing just one thing. You don't have to do it all at once. Just do one thing. One thing that's right, consistent, and meaningful. In the next part, I'll share the 15 morning habits that have helped me rebuild myself. Not as someone chasing success, but as someone who chooses to live each day on purpose. Habit number 1, waking up early, the hour of inner stillness. When the world is silent, the mind can finally speak. There's something I realized after countless lazy mornings and endless snoozes. My life was often shaped by the first 30 minutes of each day. If I woke up rushed, chaotic, and reactive, my whole day would feel like I was behind the wheel without a steering wheel. But if I could rise intentionally before the world floods in, before the emails, the messages, the pressure, the expectations, then I could lead the day on my terms. And then, I understood why the ancient Stoic philosophers viewed morning as a sacred ritual. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "In the morning, when you don't want to get up, remind yourself, I was made to do the work of a human being, not to lie under the covers like a sleepy worm." It's not about waking up to feel victorious. It's about waking up with a reason. Waking up early isn't rigid discipline. It's a spiritual privilege. There's nothing divine about early mornings if you spend them scrolling your phone or complaining. But treating the first hour as a quiet sanctuary, an inner meditation zone, becomes the most valuable time of your entire day. No interruptions. No one is asking for anything. No noise. Just you and yourself. I'm not saying you need to wake up at 4 a.m., but I encourage you to rise one step ahead of the world. If you usually wake at 7, try waking at 6. Not to do more, but to live more clearly. Why this works both stoically and scientifically. According to Stoicism, self-mastery is the foundation of happiness. And the moment when you face yourself most honestly is the moment you wake up. Carl Jung once said, "Those who look outside dream, those who look inside awaken." Morning is the door that lets you look inward, before you're forced to react to the outer world. Science supports this too. In the early morning, your natural cortisol levels rise slightly, boosting alertness as long as you're not interrupted by screens or caffeine. This is the golden hour of consciousness, when you can journal, breathe deeply, Focus on your goals. Choose your attitude for the day. How to begin 1. Sleep earlier instead of forcing early wake-ups. 2. You can't sustain clarity if you're sleep-deprived. 3. Set simple goals for your first hour. 4. Wake up, drink water, write 3 thoughts. 5. Create a gentle waking ritual. 6. No phone, wash your face in silence. Listen to soft piano music. 7. Replace "Am I tired?" with "What is waiting for me today?" And once you've woken up early, don't let unconscious reflexes erase that golden hour. The first thing you do after opening your eyes will shape the spirit of your entire day. In the next part, I'll share one of the most overlooked yet powerful habits. Drinking water, a small act, but a quiet declaration that you've chosen to be awake. Habit number 2, drink water before coffee, the first conscious act of the day. Progress doesn't come from chance, it comes from daily actions. Epictetus. Once you've dared to rise, waking up earlier than usual, you're standing at the threshold of awareness. And what you do first at that moment won't just impact your body, it will shape your mind and energy for the rest of the day. Most people's default reaction? A strong cup of coffee, as if it's the ticket to basic survival. I used to be that person. Waking up groggy, I dragged myself to the coffee machine like it was a sacred zombie ritual. I didn't need coffee because I loved the bitterness. I needed it as a crutch for a tired spirit. But one day I asked myself, is this the right way to start the day? When is the first thing I do to numb my nervous system? Water, not just a physical need, but a conscious choice. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is in a state of dehydration. Your brain, made up of over 75% water, starts to shrink and stall, leading to sluggishness. Thinking, memory, mood. Drinking water before coffee first thing in the morning isn't just a healthy habit. It's a quiet declaration that you care for yourself rather than default to unconscious impulse. In Stoic philosophy, greatness isn't found in grand gestures, but in clarity and intention within the smallest acts. Seneca once said, "Greatness is not in great things, but in doing small things greatly." Drinking water before coffee is a perfect example. It's a small act with considerable willpower, a choice made on purpose rather than through reaction. Why water before coffee? While useful for short-term alertness, coffee is a diuretic and mildly dehydrating. If you drink it while your body is already dry, you're making things worse. But starting the day with a glass of water, room temp or warm, gently activates your digestive system, helps flush your liver and kidneys, supports your nervous system with balance, and most importantly, it sets the tone for a day that begins with health, clarity, and conscious control. How to start? As simple as a morning ritual. Place a water bottle by your bed the night before. When you wake up, it's right there. No thinking. Drink. Drink a full glass, 8 to 16 ounces, 250-500 ml right after brushing your teeth. No coffee, no screen, just water. Each sip is a reminder. You are alive, awake, and in control. You might think, okay, I drank the water. So what? I'll still get pulled into work, notifications, emails, the news. And that's true, but only if you touch your phone the moment you open your eyes. In the next section, we'll talk about the most silent thief of morning clarity, the device you're holding in your hand right now, your phone. Habit number 3. Stay away from your phone for the first 30 minutes. Protect your mental space. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Right after drinking water, there's something I used to do automatically. Without even thinking, I reached for my phone, not for any real reason. My hand just found it. To quickly check emails, to see what time it is, then Instagram, then a work message, in a video, then in the news. And suddenly, I was no longer in my quiet space. I was swallowed whole by the noise of the world. And the worst part? I didn't even realize it was happening. It was like a silent invasion, smooth, subtle, and toxic. The smartphone, a silent thief of intentional living. You don't check your phone because you want to. You check it because it's a conditioned reflex, an automatic act, not a conscious one. And that's precisely what the Stoics warned us about centuries ago. Seneca said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." The phone itself isn't the problem. It's how you use it right after waking up that steals your emotional baseline, your intention for the day, your inner clarity. Your morning mind is like untouched soil. What you plant first grows strongest. If you first see a stressful email, you begin the day tense. If it's negative news, you start in fear. If it's social media, you begin with a comparison. You've already given control of your morning to someone else. Stoicism reminds us, freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want, but the ability to not be enslaved by anything. So the real question isn't, what's new on my phone? But rather, do I want someone else to decide my first emotion of the day? Why are the first 30 minutes so sacred? Neuroscience shows, right after waking, your brain is in an alpha-theta state, highly programmable. It's a perfect time for focus, visualization, journaling, or deep reading. If flooded with dopamine from social media, you burn out the calm regions of your brain and shift into reactivity and stimulus addiction. Stoic practice. Make your phone a tool, not a master. Put your phone on airplane mode before bed. Keep it out of arm's reach, in a drawer or even another room. Replace phone time with journaling, reading, meditation, or deep breathing. After 30 minutes, check your phone with awareness, not on impulse. Once you hold on to that silence for 30 minutes, habit number 4. Make your bed, a symbol of mental order. If you can't do the little things right, you will never be able to do the big things right. Admiral William McRaven. A sentiment aligned with Stoicism. Start with what's within your control. You've woken up early, you've had your water, you've stayed away from your phone. You're already ahead of the world, but there's still one more small act. It takes less than 2 minutes, yet it carries powerful psychological weight throughout your day. Make your bed. It sounds simple, even cliche. I used to think the same, but then I realized making the bed isn't about neatness, it's about a declaration. A quiet statement that says, I am responsible. I begin this day with order, not chaos. Your bed, the last place of dreams and the first step into reality. It's where you spend 6 to 8 hours resting, where your dreams unfolded, where subconscious emotions are soaked into your soul. Making your bed is when you close the night's chapter and start the day fresh and intentional. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Don't waste time worrying about what others think. Act on what you know is right." You don't make your bed for anyone else to see. You don't do it to prove anything. You do it as a silent promise to yourself. I won't let the outer environment mirror inner chaos. Applied psychology. Your environment mirrors your mind. Carl Jung once said, "Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world." A messy bed often signals a scattered mind, a sense of delay or laziness, unresolved emotional residue. On the other hand, a clean, crisp bed reflects order, willpower, control, a quiet confidence that says, I own this space and my state of mind. Why making the bed is a powerful Stoic ritual. In Stoicism, small acts done with intention are the highest expression of virtue. There's no need to romanticize or dramatize. Just do what's right, consistently, mindfully, and with presence. Epictetus once said, "No one becomes great overnight through daily, disciplined action." Making the bed is one of those small, steady disciplines, like a soldier straightening his armor before entering the day's battle. How to make your bed as a morning ritual. 1. Do it immediately after rising. No delay, no negotiation. 2. Fold pillows and blankets neatly, but do it in silence and with mindfulness. Habit number 5. Gentle movement. Awaken the body in stillness. You are not a soul trapped in a body. You are one whole being, and if the body is not awake, the mind cannot be clear. After making your bed, you've established outer order. Now it's time to activate inner strength. Don't think that morning movement is only for gym addicts or marathon runners. I used to believe that too, and it made me procrastinate because I thought, if I can't do a full workout, what's the point? But Stoicism doesn't ask you to become a fitness warrior. It asks you to become a person of will and deliberate action. So, morning movement isn't about burning calories. It's about telling yourself, I am no longer asleep, I am ready to live. Why gentle movement carries deep Stoic value. Epictetus once said, "Nothing great is created suddenly, not the body or mind. Everything comes from repeated training." Morning is the time to strike while the iron is hot. Your mind is alert and your willpower is sharp. A few stretches, a slow walk, a shoulder roll, a few squats. These aren't just exercises, they're rituals of awakening. Not mechanical workouts, but intentional presence. They awaken the sympathetic nervous system, lightly increasing alertness and heart rate, oxygen flow to the brain, residual stress hormones from the night before. And more deeply, they bring you back into your body, away from anxious futures or lingering yesterdays. Carl Jung, the body is the living image of the soul. Carl Jung once said, "The body is not just a tool, it's a doorway to the subconscious." If you often feel tired, uninspired, or disconnected, try beginning your day with 5 minutes of gentle movement. Feel each motion. Listen to your breath. You'll begin to sense a quiet power within you being stirred. This is not motivation from the outside. It's a recovery from the inside. How to start without iron discipline. 1. Inconsistencies. Just 3 minutes of movement. 2. Walk around your room. Stretch your shoulders. Twist your hips and fold forward. 3. No equipment. No big space. 4. All you need is presence. 5. Breathe deeply with every move. 6. Treat each motion like a greeting to your body. 7. Thank you for waking up with me. Baptized, soft, slow background music. 9. Or move in silence, connecting this to Stoic philosophy. The Stoics never rejected the body. They respected it as a vessel for virtue, not for showing off, but for serving the soul. Marcus Aurelius once asked, habit number 6, cold showers, forging willpower under the stream. It's not the cold that hurts you, your resistance. Stoic thought. If gentle movement is the warm-up for your body, then cold showers are the first test for your mind. It's that moment when you stand in front of the shower. The water is still warm, your hand hesitates, and your brain starts whispering, "Not today, you're tired. It's cold. Just do it tomorrow." I heard that same inner voice every morning for the first 2 weeks, and that's precisely why I had to step into the cold. Not to punish myself, but to confront procrastination, fear, and self-indulgence. Cold showers, a daily Stoic combat drill. In Stoic philosophy, one of the core practices is voluntarily confronting discomfort to build resilience. Seneca once wrote, "We learn to endure by doing difficult things, not by avoiding them." Cold showers are a modern, simple, and safe version of that lesson. It won't harm you, but it will reveal your desire to escape. And when you step into that cold stream, even for just 30 seconds, you've just won a quiet battle against yourself, not because you enjoy suffering, but because you know, I am not ruled by emotion. I act with intention, not by impulse. Neuroscience agrees. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist persists." Cold showers help you. Train your nervous system to handle intense biological reactions, shock, shivering, tension. Naturally increase dopamine, boosting alertness and fighting depression. Activate the parasympathetic system, restoring calm after the stress spike. And above all, teach you how to breathe through fear, how to practice Stoicism under the shower. 1. Start your shower warm as usual. 2. End with 30 seconds of cold water, whole body or by section. 3. Breathe deeply, no tensing, no screaming. 4. Focus on the thought, I am training the virtue of courage. 5. Gradually increase the time if you like, but never force it. There's no score, no audience, just you and your silent bravery. Why this habit matters in the morning? Because once you've overcome the first discomfort of the day, everything else becomes lighter. Habit number 7, journaling, the mirror of the soul. No one can master their life without first learning to observe their mind daily. You've conquered the cold, you've awakened your body and your spirit, but there's still one more space to clear your mind. Every morning, hundreds of quiet thoughts rise to the surface. What do I need to get done today? Why did I feel so disappointed yesterday? Am I really on the right path? If you don't write them down, those thoughts become mental noise, shaping your mood and behavior for the entire day without your awareness. Journaling, an ancient practice of the greatest minds. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher, began each morning by writing a few lines in his journal. Those writings are now known as Meditations, one of the most influential philosophical works ever. But he didn't write to publish. He didn't write for fame. He wrote to examine himself, reaffirm his principles, stay grounded amid temptation and chaos. He once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." One simple line in the morning can become your compass for the entire day. Modern psychology agrees. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Journaling helps you bring buried emotions into the light, see clearly what you've been avoiding, untangle thoughts and reframe your mindset. It's like wiping the mirror of your soul each morning so you can truly see who you are, what you need, and what you're hiding from. How to journal without feeling cliché or forced. No templates needed. Start. Write whatever's in your head. A feeling, a dream, a worry, an intention. No need for perfect grammar, just honest emotion. This isn't an essay, it's a raw, personal dialogue with your inner self. 5 minutes is enough. Even 3 honest lines can be transformative. Believe by hand if possible. The slowness of handwriting helps you pause, reflect, and feel more deeply. You can begin with these questions. How do I feel today, and why? What am I worried about? What am I grateful for this morning? What value do I want to embody today? You don't need to solve every problem on the page. You need to take away its unconscious power. Stoicism doesn't deny emotion, it masters it. Stoicism doesn't teach you to pretend everything's fine. It teaches you to be radically honest and to redirect. Habit number 8, set 3 morning goals. Choose what matters, not what's loud. Don't worry about having too little time, worry about not knowing what to do with your time. Seneca, after you've sat down and written your morning reflections, a very natural question arises, so what will I do today? This is a delicate moment because if you don't choose clearly, the world will choose for you. Urgent emails, breaking news, someone else's agenda, sudden emotions, and just like that, you begin your day reacting to everything except yourself. You're not lazy, you're just lacking direction. Many people end their day thinking, "I was busy all day, but I got nothing done." It's not a lack of energy, it's a lack of anchor. Epictetus once said, "First, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." Morning is the time to decide who you are today. And there's no more straightforward way than writing down your 3 most important goals. Why 3? Why not 10? Because your job isn't to do more, it's to do what matters. 3 is the perfect number. Not too few to feel aimless, not too many to feel scattered. Imagine this. If you accomplish just 3 things today, but they align with your deeper goals, you've lived this day with intention. How to choose your 3 goals? The Stoic way. 1 for the mind, learning, reading, writing, creating. 2, 1 for the body, exercise, healthy eating, proper rest. 3, 1 for the soul, family, connection, kindness, service. Or ask, if I could only do 3 things today, which would make me feel proud when I lie down at night? Write your goals, not to remember, but to commit. Write your goals after journaling. Don't type them into your phone, write them by hand. That act is a quiet oath to yourself. Examples: call mom, finish the presentation slides, take a 30-minute walk without my phone. There is no need for poetry, just clarity and honesty. Psychology confirms the power of focused limitation. Studies show limiting daily goals reduces stress, increases follow-through, builds sustainable confidence over time. Habit number 9. Morning philosophy reading, fuel for a leader's mind. The mind needs nourishment just as the body does. But not everything you feed it is food. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius. You've just set your 3 core goals for today. Your mind is open, untouched by emails, notifications, or social noise. This is a sacred window, a rare moment to feed your consciousness something rich, grounding, and meaningful. This is when 1 paragraph of philosophy, 1 line of ancient wisdom can bring you back to center. I call this your mental seed of the day. It might be a quote from Marcus Aurelius, a line from Seneca's journals, or even 2 to 3 sentences from a quiet book that holds up a mirror to your inner world. Why is this so crucial in the morning? Think of your body. You wouldn't fuel it with junk food and expect clarity, energy, and strength. Your mind is no different. If you begin your day with social media drama, negative headlines, subtle comparisons, you've already laid the foundation for a reactive, scattered day. Stoicism doesn't teach us to run from reality. It teaches us to filter wisely what enters our inner world. Read to reflect, not to memorize. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations to show off. He wrote to remind himself of what was right, like polishing a mirror. You can do the same. Open a book you love. Read a short passage slowly. Ask yourself, what is this reminding me of today? You don't need 10 pages. Sometimes one line is enough. Here are a few daily sparks you might try. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. It's not because things are difficult that we don't dare. It's because we don't dare that they are difficult. Seneca. Nothing great happens suddenly. Epictetus. Or you can read a quote from Carl Jung, a modern Stoic reflection, a page on presence, stillness, or inner strength. The key is not quantity, but depth and intention. How to practice this effectively. Keep a philosophy book next to your journal. Each morning, 10 key passages ahead of time. Read slowly, pause for 1 minute, then write your reflection or connect it to today's goals. Carry if possible, repeat the passage silently 2 to 3 times to anchor it into your day. Why every leader should do this. Because leadership isn't about controlling others. It begins with mastering yourself. And nothing grounds you in clarity like a strong mental pillar, forged each morning through philosophy. Seneca once said, "A person with a clear purpose is never at the mercy of the winds of life." Once your mind is fed with deep thought, you are ready to visualize yourself living that truth. Not just thinking about it, but seeing it, feeling it, rehearsing it like a warrior preparing for a mental battle. In the next part, I'll share one of the most potent yet underrated techniques: positive visualization, mental rehearsal before you enter the real world. Habit number 10. Morning visualization, mental rehearsal before entering the real world. Those who look outside dream. Those who look inside awaken. Carl Jung. You've just read a piece of philosophy, perhaps a line from Marcus Aurelius or a reflection from Seneca. But now what? What if you turn that wisdom into a living mental experience? Like a warrior visualizing his battle before stepping into the arena. That is the art of morning visualization. Visualization, not daydreaming, but inner training. Most people visualize unconsciously. They imagine things going wrong, they replay past mistakes, they fear the worst outcomes. But the Stoic practitioner visualizes with intention. Epictetus once taught, "Practice in your mind before life forces you to practice in blood and tears." Marcus Aurelius didn't drift aimlessly into his mornings. He visualized. Who might challenge him today? What moods might arise? How would he respond to an insult or resistance? Not to worry, but to prepare. 2 Stoic forms of visualization. 1. Premeditatio malorum, pre-rehearsing adversity. Not to expect the worst, but not to be defeated by surprise. Imagine delays, misunderstandings, or conflict, and rehearse calm responses. 2. Visualizing your highest self. The version of you that is calm, grateful, self-possessed, and virtuous. This is how you declare, "The day doesn't decide who I am, I do." Neuroscience confirms the power of visualization. Research in sports psychology shows athletes who mentally rehearse movements activate the same brain regions as if they were physically performing them. These mental repetitions strengthen neural pathways, so when the real moment comes, you're faster, sharper, and more stable. Your mind doesn't fully distinguish between vivid imagination and lived experience. So when you visualize yourself acting with clarity and composure, you're programming that behavior as your default mode. How to practice morning visualization. 1. Knee in silence for 3-5 minutes after your philosophy reading. 2. Close your eyes and picture a specific situation you'll face today. 3. See yourself responding with calm, wisdom, and intention. 4. Feel the look in your eyes, your breath, your posture. 5. Step into that version of you. 6. Both. End with a grounding phrase. 7. I've already been there. I am prepared. Visualize to gain mastery, not control. You cannot control all outcomes, but you can. Anticipate how you will act. Send a signal to your subconscious. Habit number 11, morning gratitude, the art of noticing what you already have. Let not a single day pass without realizing you already have more than enough to live a good life. Seneca. We've awakened the body, we've trained the mind, we've written, read, and visualized. But if all our energy revolves around self-improvement and doing more, even the best habits can become heavy. In the middle of this river of striving, you need an anchor, a quiet reminder. Right now, I already have more than I ever imagined. That reminder is morning gratitude. Not the fake, forced kind, but a conscious recognition of what is already good. Is gratitude too gentle for a philosophy as tough as Stoicism? On the contrary, in Stoicism, gratitude is a pillar of inner strength. Marcus Aurelius began many of his journal entries with, "Thank you for life." Not because the day was easy, but on hard days he needed even more to see the good so he wouldn't drown in the bad. Epictetus wrote, "We cannot control what happens, but we can always control how we receive it." Gratitude is the deliberate posture of receiving life with openness, not resistance. The benefits of morning gratitude, backed by science, boosts natural dopamine and serotonin, helping you start the day lighter, calmer, lowers cortisol, reducing stress, improves focus and decision-making, and most importantly, it softens the mind's urge to chase more by recognizing what is already here. A simple but powerful practice. 1. Cybersecurity hangs you're grateful for. 2. Something small. I still have my mom to call. 3. Abstract. I'm grateful for the chance to begin again today. 4. Something internal. I'm grateful for the courage stirring within me. 5. Don't force optimism, just be honest. 6. Some mornings everything feels like it's falling apart. 7. Until you can be grateful for a full night's sleep or a warm cup of water. 8. Feel what you wrote. 9. Elongate your eyes for 10 seconds. 10. Let gratitude spread gently from your chest, like a soft morning light. Gratitude doesn't make you passive, it makes you stronger. Many fear that gratitude will make them complacent. But the opposite is true. Grateful people strive, not because they feel not enough, but because they love this life and want to honor it. They don't act from a lack. Habit number 12. Eat a healthy breakfast. Fuel the body to support the mind. We do not live to eat, but we must eat well to live wisely. Seneca. After you've filled your heart with gratitude, it's time to care for your most loyal companion, your body. Stoicism doesn't promote an obsession with physical appearance or extreme denial, but it always reminds us the body is the foundation of a steady mind. A clear, rational mind cannot operate in a depleted vessel. Why is breakfast a vital habit for the Stoic? It's your first decision of the day involving the body. It reflects how you treat yourself, mindlessly or mindfully. It shapes your energy, blood sugar, and emotional stability for hours afterwards. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not let laziness win in small matters. From there it will invade the great ones." Eating a proper breakfast may seem small, but it's a small victory that echoes far. What does a Stoic breakfast look like? 1. Simple but nutritionally balanced. No need for superfoods or extravagance, just familiar, whole, minimally processed options. Oats with seeds and plant-based milk. Boiled eggs, fresh fruit, whole grain bread. Nut butter, leafy greens, Greek yogurt. 2. No refined sugar or fast food. These cause energy spikes, crashes, emotional volatility. 3. Eat with mindfulness. No phone, no TV. Each bite is an act of life, not just fast fuel. Epictetus once said, "Eat as though you were in conversation with yourself, slowly and with respect." Core Stoic mindset. The body is not to be indulged nor neglected. The Stoics understood, if your body leads your emotions, you quickly become angry and collapse. If you ignore your body, your spirit weakens. A healthy breakfast is your first promise to yourself each day. Make breakfast a ritual, not a chore. Ask yourself every morning, what will I eat today to support the best version of myself? Not just get it over with. but eat to stand firm. A quick tip: time plus simplicity. Even with a busy schedule, you can prepare a Stoic breakfast in under 5 minutes. 1 slice of whole grain toast, 1 boiled egg prepared the night before, 1 banana, warm water with lemon. If you have more time, add steamed vegetables, hot tea, or a page of morning philosophy as you eat, when your mind is calm with gratitude. Habit number 13. Morning affirmations. Installing beliefs for a successful day. You become what you repeatedly do through thought, speech, and action. Epictetus. Once your body is nourished and your energy is steady, it's time to plant a seed into the most fertile ground you have, your morning mind. The early morning is when your mind is most open and programmable. That's why what you say to yourself in the first 60 minutes can profoundly influence how you think, behave, and respond throughout the day. Do Stoics use affirmations? You might think affirmations sound a bit modern for classical Stoicism, but not quite. In truth, Marcus Aurelius used his journal as an internal affirmation. He wrote lines like, "I cannot control others. I can only control how I respond. Death is natural. I do not fear what is natural. My job is to live rightly. All else is secondary." These are affirmations, Stoic ones. No fluff, no false positivity, just repeated reminders of principles, so the mind wouldn't forget. The benefits of morning affirmations. Reconnect with your core values. Remind yourself who you are and what you're here for. Redirect negative thinking. Instead of defaulting to, "Today will be hard," choose, "Today is a chance to train." Reprogram your behavior. When repeated long enough, your subconscious starts aligning action with belief. How to practice Stoic-style affirmations. 1. Choose principle-based, not emotion-based affirmations. Examples. I cannot control external events, but I can control my response. I choose to act rightly even when the conditions aren't ideal. Every challenge is a chance to deepen my inner strength. 2. Say them aloud or write them in your journal. Say them to the mirror if possible, or write 3 affirmations you want to carry with you today. Vegan. 3. Repeat them daily during the window of mental clarity. The early morning is when your mind is most receptive. A key distinction. Affirmations are not about lying to yourself. Don't say, "I'm perfect." Don't say, "I never fail." Say, "I can meet failure with composure and learn from it." The philosophical root is what makes the difference. Stoics don't use affirmations to paint life pink. They use them to anchor the mind to what is true and correct. Example, 3 morning Stoic affirmations. 1. I choose to act with reason, not emotion. Habit number 14. Step outside and breathe natural air. Expand awareness and reconnect with life in motion. The mind needs fresh air just as the body needs oxygen, but the kind that comes from nature, not from within 4 walls. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius. After you've programmed your mindset with clear affirmations, your thoughts become lighter, focused, and ready for action. But the Stoics knew something essential. Philosophy isn't just for thinking, it's for living. And living means stepping outside to reconnect with nature, with reality, with now. Why is stepping outside a Stoic practice? We live in a time sealed off by concrete, glass, and Wi-Fi. The mind gets trapped in rectangular boxes, phones, laptops, rooms, buildings. Inside these tight spaces, we forget we are natural beings. Epictetus once said, "To live by reason, you must first know who you are and where you belong." You don't belong on the screen. You belong to the morning light, the open sky, the calm wind, and the earth beneath your feet. What happens when you step outside in the morning? 1. Biological reset. 2. Natural sunlight realigns your circadian rhythm, improves sleep, and boosts serotonin. 3. Presence returns. 4. When you walk, breathe deeply, observe the trees, and hear the birds. 5. You reconnect with the now instead of spiraling into the past or future. 6. Interrupt negative patterns. 7. Many people live in loops. 8. Carry, phone, desk, couch, phone, sleep. 9. A 5-minute walk outdoors can break the loop and restore clarity. Simple ways to practice, no excuses needed. If you have time, walk 10 to 15 minutes in soft sunlight. No phone or set to airplane mode. Observe, breathe, walk slowly and intentionally. If you're short on time, open a window or step onto your balcony. Take 5 deep breaths. Feel the breeze, the light, the sounds. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Feel yourself fully here in this world. Small act, big impact. Stoics understood, awareness isn't found in abstract theory, but in being fully present with simple reality. A breeze, a breath, a single step on the earth. That is meditation in motion, if you're there for it. Daily morning reminder. Before trying to fix the world, step outside and feel that you are still a part of it. You've calmed the mind, nourished the body, set clear beliefs, and reconnected with nature. Now, it's time to choose what you let into your inner world. In the final habit of this series, habit number 15, choose your first mental input. Protect your awareness from mental pollution. Our minds are dyed by the color of what they absorb first. Marcus Aurelius. You've already given so much to yourself each morning. You woke up with awareness. You moved, breathed, and found stillness. You reprogrammed your mindset and beliefs. You reconnected with nature and the present moment. But one careless action, opening social media, reading toxic news, or getting pulled into drama, can undo everything you've built. Why be intentional about your first mental input? Because your mind is most fertile in the early hours. And whatever you plant first, that's what grows strongest throughout the day. If you plant negativity, you see everything through anger and suspicion. Rush, you lose patience and spiral into overwhelm. Comparison, you feel not enough even when you already have plenty. What do Stoics choose as mental food? 1. Public instead of headlines. 2. Policing from Marcus Seneca or Epictetus brings far more clarity than 10 clickbait articles. 3. Buy books instead of social media. 4. Tax-pay one page of timeless thought, waves of chaos from TikTok or Twitter. 5. Reflection instead of reaction. 6. Journaling, asking yourself, what do I need today to live rightly? 7. Silence or calming sounds instead of noise. 8. Healing music, birdsong, or simply the sound of your breath. Suggested practice for the first 10 minutes of your day. Set a rule. No social media, no news, no messages for the first 30 minutes. Place a book or philosophical quote near your bed. Spend 5 minutes reading, then reflect or write your thoughts. Prefer audio? Listen to a Stoic podcast, instrumental music, or a meditation guide. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Be careful what you let your mind consume. It becomes your character." In this age of information overload, a modern Stoic doesn't need to escape society, but they must build a filter. That filter starts in the morning. 15 habits, a complete circle of discipline. When you begin each day with 15 intentional habits, you are no longer reacting. You are reflecting. You are choosing. You no longer chase the day, you lead it. And from that leadership, a different life begins. Final reflection and a message just for you. I'm not sharing these habits to make you the perfect morning person. I'm sharing them because I know what chaos and numbness feel like in the early hours. If you're like I was, waking up disoriented, heavy-hearted, and not even wanting to begin the day, then let me tell you this. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. You only need to start with one morning, lived right. Pick just one habit from this list. Practice it for 3 days, then 7, then 21. You'll begin to notice you're not just living differently, you are becoming someone new. Summary: 15 Stoic morning habits, a journey to lead your day from within. 1. Galleries, the hour of inner stillness. 2. Trek water before coffee, the first mindful act. 3. Avoid the phone for 30 minutes, protect your mental space. 4. Make your bed, a symbol of inner order. 5. Move your body, awaken physically gently. 6. Cold shower, temper the will through the flesh. 7. Morning journaling, a mirror for the soul. 8. Set 3 clear intentions. Prioritize the essential, not the loud. 9. Read a Stoic passage. Nourish the mind with ancient insight. 10. Visualize your day, rehearse right thinking before reality. 11. Write down morning gratitude, the art of seeing what you already have. 12. Eat a healthy breakfast. Fuel the body to support the mind. 13. Morning affirmations. Install a mindset that guides behavior. 14. Step outside for fresh air. Expand your awareness beyond the self. 15. Choose your first mental input wisely. Protect consciousness from pollution. You don't need to do all 15 at once. Start small, stay consistent, grow strong. Choose 1 to 3 habits that resonate most with you and practice them daily. The transformation will come, not from bursts of motivation, but from steady, rooted discipline. This is the Stoic path, and your journey begins each morning. If these morning habits spoke to you, then somewhere out there someone else is waking up tired, unmotivated, and overwhelmed by the weight of a life they don't feel in control of. Share this video with them. A small gesture from you could be the spark that helps them find clarity and stillness within. And if you're already walking the path of self-discipline, emotional mastery, and living by your inner values, then Sovereign Stoic is your sanctuary. Subscribe to Sovereign Stoic to stay grounded in the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, translated into modern tools for modern life. We don't chase toxic positivity. We cultivate awareness, discipline, and calm strength. Leave a comment below. Which habit will you start with tomorrow? Sovereign Stoic walks with you every morning.